No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
Sorry, Tatum. What is up, Scream fans? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to my channel. I just watched Scream 2 for the very first time. Got lots to say about it. Scream, for those of you who don't know, is my favorite horror movie of all time. So I thought it was only right to try to watch all the sequels before the trailer inevitably drops. So I just got done watching Scream 2. Got lots of things to say about it. But join me down below. What do you guys think of Scream 2? Do you think it's as good as the first one? Do you think it's better than the first one? Let me know all that down below in the comment section. This is going to be an in-depth spoiler review. So if you have not seen Scream 2, definitely click away because we're going to be diving all deep into this. So, Scream 2, let's talk about it. 2 years after the first series of murders, as Sidney acclimates to college life, someone donning the Ghostface costume begins a new string of killings. So they are in college now. Kind of something you have to put two and two together. So I love the first Scream. As I said, it is my favorite horror movie of all time. So coming into the sequel, I wasn't nervous, but I definitely was a little bit skeptical going into it because I love the first one so much. And you know what they say about sequels?
Who'd want to do that? Sequels suck.
No, wow. And funny enough, they actually talk about this in the movie, and lots of things I love in the first one are in this one as well. Starting with the opening scene, they're at a movie theater watching Gale Weathers' book turn into a movie called Stab. These two characters at the movie theater, and inevitably everyone there is wearing a Ghostface mask, which I thought was kind of silly, kind of fun, all in the same. Though I like the character of Gale Weathers, it's like you like to not like her, like you love to hate her in a way, but she's such a great character. Her book got turned into a movie called Stab, and it's based off of everything that happened in the first Scream. Now it's called Stab on this screen, so these characters there watching it, and one of the killers dressed up as Ghostface is there, and these two characters get killed in front of everyone. They all thought it was a big publicity stunt, but it wasn't. The Ghostface killer is back 2 years later. Then it hops over to college life. We get all our characters back. Sidney to Randy. Randy's my personal favorite Scream character. I love his knowledge for film, and I love just how he's always kind of breaking down what's going to happen in the sequel, and he does it in this film as well. He's always saying how, like, oh, the sequel is never as good as the first. Name one time where the sequel is better than the first. They're in a little film class discussing it, and then he's talking about in the sequel how there's a killer coming back, how the killer is here for a sequel.
The way I see it, someone's out to make a sequel, so it's our job to observe the rules of the sequel. Number one, the body count is always bigger. Two, death scenes are always much more elaborate.
Funny because they're addressing that they are actually in a sequel and they're explaining the rules for a sequel. That's something that Wes Craven did so well at the first one, how they explain the rules of the film. They do that again here, and Randy's saying the kills are going to be that much more. It's going to be all different, and it'll give lots of hints as to who the killer might be. He says he or she. Randy's kind of breaking it down for you. You have to pay attention to what he says because he kind of gives lots of clues, and that's what I realized when watching the first one is that they throw so many clues throughout there that in the second one they do the same thing, as the killer might be a man or might be a girl. I predicted the killer this time around just because of Billy in the first Scream. He looks like a psycho, so I looked for a person who looked like a psycho in this one, and I found him. It's Timothy Olyphant, and then there's also another killer who we'll get to in a second. But this film in the middle, I don't want to say it dragged on, but at times it felt a little bit slower than the original. Obviously, it's not going to be as good because it's my favorite horror movie, but here it just felt like sometimes it dragged just a little bit. That's a nitpick in the scheme of things. Our characters are back. Sydney's back. She has private security with her because all the haunting memories from 2 years ago are coming back. But and also Dewey comes back in there because he knows what's happening. He's trying to be there for Sidney, and he seems pretty good, even though his sister Tatum got brutally murdered in the first one at the garage door. I mean, he seems to be doing okay. He's there to help Sidney, and he had a bad stab wound from the original film, so he has a little limp now. And Sidney's character kind of takes a back seat in this one. I mean, she's not in it as much as I guess the first one. She's almost like, in a sense, not the main character of this film. I would say the main characters in this one are Gale Weathers, Dewey, and Randy. I mean, these two are trying to figure out who the killer are. Gale, the whole time we're thinking she might be good, but also she might be trying to write another book to make more money. I guess I'll see when I watch the third one. But Dewey, Randy, and Gale, this whole journey to try to find out who the killer is. Randy has a really funny conversation with him, and Randy, of all the characters, I mean, he gets taken in the van, he gets stabbed and killed by the other killer. There's two killers in this film as well. I like that they did that again. I thought that was cool. Kind of caught me off guard. And this killer is Billy's mom. They kind of did a flip-flop of Friday the 13th. The first Friday the 13th had Jason Voorhees' mother would be the killer. This one kind of did a flip-flop. The second movie now has the killer, Billy's mom, and she has lots of vengeance and lots of things she's coming after him, and she's coming after Sidney ultimately. But my man Randy, he died in the news van, and I'll miss you, man. I really will. My favorite Scream character, so I'm very sad he bit the dust. But with this film, Randy literally says the kills are going to be doubled in this film. There's going to be so much more, and there are a lot more kills in this film. I wouldn't always say there's like that really creative or that brutal of a kill. There's lots more stabbing kills in this film. I think Wes Craven did a good job with this sequel of carrying on things from the first one that worked so well and adding some new ones in there, adding some new characters in there. And a character from the first one we only heard about, but Cotton Weary's in this film, and Liev Schreiber plays Cotton Weary. I don't know about you, but throughout the film, I was thinking, oh, Cotton might be the killer because he got innocent from the first film. He might be the killer because he was kind of coming after Sidney, coming kind of out of her sideways. So I was like, oh, Cotton Weary might actually be the killer in this one. And it ended up being Timothy Olyphant's character. I believe his name was Mickey. I'm trying to find him on IMDb. His name was Mickey, and also Billy's mother. And the kills in this movie actually tied to the first one. They started doing some investigating of Dewey and Gail and Randy. They're doing some investigating, and they all have kind of a name attached to the first one. So we're starting to get hints that the killer might be from the first one or somehow related to someone in the first one. Give subtle hints throughout the film. We get to figure out the mystery with them. That's what I love about these first two Scream movies so much. Also, they have a lot more swearing language in this film, a lot more F-bombs, which I feel in these movies work really well, and I actually really much enjoyed that. This movie's funny, it's fun, it has the kills, and Randy explains the rules. We know the rules, has a really good reveal towards the end. Billy's mom's come back as a killer, did a flipperoo of the Friday the 13th. I think Scream 2 was a solid sequel. For those who don't know, my score for the original Scream is a 5 out of 5. This one, I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5. Some things were a little too formulaic for me. Some things were just a little slower at times, but I still really did enjoy it. Had a lot of fun with it. A 7 out of 10, 70% for Scream 2. If you guys like this video, definitely hit the thumbs up button. Definitely hit the subscribe button. You're going to have a video for Scream 3 and a Scream trailer reaction coming tomorrow. Very excited for all of it. And Scream 4 will be the following day. I'm watching both those after I film this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Peace!